Is this the beginning of the end for this Patriots player? I don't know. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots on the daily, pushing out content to people just like you who love Patriots football. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button before we get started as well. Hit that like button and comment below. So today what we're going to be talking about, social media, comments made by Patriots players. We're going to dive into that as well. We're going to be talking about some draft picks, some mock drafts, some potential things the Patriots can do to really bolster this team come 2025. As well, we're going to be talking about Drake Maye and some comments he made about the team. So jumping right into it, we know social media is wild nowadays. A lot of people jumping on there, having Twitter fingers, making comments, and sometimes saying things that I think can be misinterpreted. But at the end of the day, it may be best not to even go on social media. So let's jump into it. So we know that the New England Patriots took the loss in London to Jacksonville. A very frustrating loss at times. I think a lot of Patriots fans believed, hey, we could have won this game, and I think that is the case. It seemed like times they just kind of rolled over, gave up, and it was incredibly frustrating. But two players in particular, KJ Osborne, going on to social media and making just some frustrating comments, as well as Jalen Polk making some making kind of a hidden gesture possibly towards the Patriots organization, and Drake Maye saying, "I would hope they'd keep this kind of stuff in house." Now, what's important to say is this: I believe for any professional athlete, for any professional, it's best to not go to social media and post your frustrations. In my opinion, it's just common sense. Now, I think there is a difference between going on here, watching a video like this, and making some comments, having a discussion. But again, we're fans. There's a difference when you are a professional. If myself, if I was frustrated with the school I taught at and I went online and just started venting on social media, stupid move, not a smart move. Case in point, if anyone out there is out there in business or whatever it might be in your occupation as a professional, if you go out and just voice your opinions online without being a man in having a conversation with someone at your work, in your organization, whatever it might be, in my opinion, it is just you are treading on thin ice. It is not a smart move to do. But anyways, I think the bigger story is Jalen Polk. Now, Jalen Polk, we're going to jump into this message that he had. So this is on Instagram. He posted on his story a song by Rich Homie Quan. And then he just had the deuce sign. Now, again, this very well could just be something arbitrary, something just innocuous, just not harmful at all. But again, I think a lot of people took it the wrong way. Again, I think the route best to take is, hey, if you go on social media, that's fine. How about you just don't post anything? I think that's smart across the board. I think any franchise, I mean, when you go to college, and honestly, when you go into the pros, when you're a rookie, they tell you, hey, it would be best not to do this. Obviously, a lot of people remember, and this is kind of random, but the Monte Teo catfish story. So there's a reason that these young players get taught about social media. Now, I think this is a side of social media maybe that's not touched on as much when they come into the NFL and they have this done by the NFLPA. And so maybe this is something the organization should do more, but again, it just does not look good for the franchise. Now, let's remember, Jalen Polk drafted in the second round, and we've talked about him many times in the past videos, in the past handful of weeks. He has struggled mightily for the New England Patriots. Someone that was drafted in the second round, a lot of people believed, hey, he could have easily been a first rounder. A lot of mock drafts had him as a first rounder at times. Again, this was a wide receiver class in this 2024 draft that had a lot of specialty players taken early. And so Jalen Polk, a lot of people had hope in him, but we look at his stats through the past two games. He's had 8 targets. He's had 1 catch for 4 yards. And he has had a lot hit him in the hands that have dropped. Of the 6, 5 hit Polk's hands, and he fell down on the 6th. So you look at these stats, and it is incredibly frustrating. And again, I think you need to give some patience for players like this. But again, you're a professional athlete, especially as a wide receiver. If it hits you in the hands, it's something that needs to be caught. Again, I don't know exactly what this message means that he has, but again, I think taking the route, and I believe you could even call it the high road of just not even going on social media, or at least going on social media but not posting anything, because I think a lot of times too, he probably, if you take the approach where it's like, I'm just not even going to look at the comment section or what are people saying about me, because then again, sure, some people can take that as motivation and some people can just take it personally. So I think Jalen Polk, in players in general, and I would be surprised if Drake Maye has not addressed this. I think he definitely needs to, as if he hasn't. But talking about social media content moving forward from players. But as well, this begs the question, if this comment is what people think it is, where it's like, all right, peace out, yeah, whatever it is, what it is, I'm giving up. The question becomes, is Jalen Polk, is his time coming to an end as a New England Patriots? My answer is no. But again, you look at a lot of comments and a lot of people believe like, hey, if this is the attitude you're going to have, is this something we want for a rebuild? So my question for you guys is, what do you think of this whole situation? Again, I lean towards that it's something that is just harmless, possibly not even having to do with, the game possibly. Who knows? Again, I know he's probably going to be questioned. But again, if it's on the flip side and he's being a crybaby about, his play and all these different things, then is that the type of person you want on a rebuild? Someone that just goes to social media and does stuff like this? My answer is no, I don't think so. But again, comment below. What do you think of the whole Jalen Polk situation? Again, I think he has a ton of potential. I still have hope for him. Again, listen, we're not even halfway through this season, and it could turn around quick, and hopefully it does. So we will see. It is a transition for some going from the college game to the NFL game, so we will see. Next, we're going to just jump into the mock draft. A lot of mock drafts come out weekly after games. Now, this is a mock draft that I find very interesting. The New England Patriots taking Kelvin Banks, which would be a lineman in general would be smart. Now, Kelvin Banks has jumped up the board greatly in the past handful of weeks, especially playing for a team like Texas, even though they just lost to Georgia. Pierce, who plays for Tennessee, is a edge rusher that a lot of people have had as of recently, even a top 3 pick, even a top 1 pick. So that'd be interesting. And then you see a wide receiver and a guard, which is interesting. I think, and then we just jump into this other draft, this mock draft by CBS. 2 people having the Patriots picking first overall and taking Travis Hunter, which is an interesting pickup. Someone who can play both wide receiver. I think at the level of the NFL. I don't see someone playing 2 sides of the ball, but it'd be interesting. And then the question becomes, do you take the best available player, or do you take the best available player that is a need for you? So that's the big question. Comment below. What do you think on that? Best available player or best available player that is a need for the team? In my opinion, it's the need for the team, unless it's a generational player. And the question is, if Travis Hunter is that something you trade? Now, this is what I think the Patriots should do looking into this draft. And you're like, Aaron, this is a long way away. Yes, but you're going to hear me preaching this as we get towards that draft. And obviously there'll be weeks I probably never talk about it until we get closer. But I just thought this was interesting because this was a lot of the news as of recent. But I think one of the things the Patriots should do is look to doing something like the Texans did when they went in and got C.J. Stroud, number 2, and then came in and immediately traded and then got Will Anderson. Two players that have made huge strides already in not even 2 years in the NFL. Will Anderson is wild off the edge. You can see that case in point when the Patriots played the Texans the other week. He had 3 sacks, and then C.J. Stroud was Offensive Rookie of the Year. And so you look at this, and it comes to question, what could they do? So say, for instance, they are interested in a Travis Hunter, but again, I don't think that Kelvin Banks is necessarily the person to jump on. I really like Will Campbell from LSU. I think that he's a great talent, and he's someone that has been on the Patriots' radar for a long time going into this draft. Again, what is the biggest need? The biggest need is the offensive line. There are weapons in place. I think obviously there's some we talk about at the wide receiver position. I do think there's some talent at the wide receiver position. Again, that's something in the offseason that could be addressed more. I don't disagree. But again, we haven't seen Javon Baker really yet. Obviously, I know he's had his injury issues. Jalen Polk has not yet come into his own, but you have people like Pop Douglas, who is great, and I really think is incredibly underrated in this league as a slot wide receiver. Now you look at Kendrick Bourne, he's older, more injury prone, but then you have Booty that, again, could he really come into his own? So, and then you look at our running backs in Ramondre Stevenson. Antonio Gibson hasn't done bad. I know he's struggled being absolutely abused running the ball. But then you look at Hasty, and Hasty's had a decent time catching the ball out of the backfield. So the question becomes, what's the biggest need? So again, I think it's offensive tackle, and then possibly trading up at some point to get someone else. Now, other mock drafts, I've seen them getting a defensive tackle. No, you're going to have Barmore come back. If you want to get an edge rusher, sure, that's fine. Keon White on one side, and then say you get Pierce from Tennessee, and he's dropped. And so the question becomes, what is the biggest need? What is the biggest need, and where are you going to gain the most, draft capital and the most, cultivate the most, picks when it comes down to it? So again, I would love to see moving forward. And again, this is all literally, we are in mid-October, getting towards later October, and they have this. And chances are it might look a little like this. It might totally not look like this. Again, you look at this, and it has the Panthers in one of these mock drafts taking Cam Ward from Miami. So they literally just got Bryce Young. So, it's people speculating all these different things, but I do find it interesting. Again, comment below, what do you think? Because if someone like me, especially, I love college football, so it's something that I'm always keeping up with mock drafts. What do you guys think about that? As well, just Gerard Mayo, some comments he's made. Now, the other day he said, hey, the Patriots, they're playing soft. But I think what's important, and I've done this before, and I'll admit when I'm wrong, is you don't give full context to the quote, because yes, he's correct. He's manning up and saying, yes, they're playing soft, but he says this team has potential to 100% step up their game and play. And I do believe there's been times this season we have seen that from the defense and from the offense. Again, yesterday I wouldn't have told you that I believe that if you were like, what's going to be the biggest issue in the game against Jacksonville, I probably would have told you this offensive line. Offensive line did not have an awful game. Yes, the run game struggled, but I think a lot of times it was based on Jacksonville's defense literally out there saying, hey, we'll let you throw it, but we're going to stop the run. So I think when it comes down to it, I think that, Gerard coming out and saying, yes, they played soft, but they have the potential to, be a good team. Again, I think there's missing pieces, again, on the offensive line, maybe another weapon on offense and an edge rusher on defense. But again, I think this is a team, and again, I'm going to use this reference, is like the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans before last year, when they had C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson, and they got this other young talent around them, they were an awful team. They were a horrendous team. And then that next year they're a playoff team. Am I saying that the Patriots are going to make a huge jump like that? No, but I do think they have pieces in place that can help propel them that direction. So comment below. What do you guys think? Again, I am a glass half full type of guy. I like to take the positive out of things, but comment below anything. I don't really care. Let's talk about it. Again, on your way out, hit that subscribe button, pound that subscribe button. It'd mean the world to me. As well, hit that like button, and we'll talk later. Peace.